Hi, my name is Niknejad. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of the Tehran Bureau. The Tehran Bureau is a virtual bureau. It's not based in Tehran, it's based in Boston. The digital revolution allowed us to redraw the line of what it means to be in Iran, who we can be in touch with in terms of sources, and who our audience is. The idea came up, was planted when I was in journalism school, and David Remnick of The New Yorker came to our class. I started bombarding him with questions about, why aren't you guys covering this? Why did you miss this? Why don't you do a profile of this? Probably to get me to shut up. He said, look, hey, no one has a real full-fledged bureau in Tehran. We don't know what's going on in that country. So I thought that I would create one. And I did it to improve the level of journalism that the quality of news reporting inside the country and outside the country. Inside the country, journalism means something completely different than what we think of journalism. And the quality of journalism education ranges from non-existent to low. There's a great deal of state censorship, and there's a lot of self-censorship in order to avoid landing in jail or being assassinated. Non-Iranians do not have access to Iran, and when they do have access, the access is very superficial. And in order, once their news organization has negotiated a bureau there or a visa there, they end up exercising more self-censorship than the journalists in Iran who are printing in Iranian news media. For example, Nazila Fatih, who was the local correspondent for the New York Times, once she left the country, was no longer working for them, she said that I wasn't allowed to cover what's happening in Iran, in the Iranian press. So basically, by being based outside the country, we can circumvent a lot of those censorship issues, but at the same time kind of apply the principles of journalism that we love, and that made us love journalism here. And we can do. And the model, the way we do it is, to me, some people think it's innovative. To me, it's common sense. It's a lot like when a big news organization has a correspondent in Iran. Our correspondents are inside the country. When they file a story, an editor in London or in New York does the editing. If there's a magazine, we do the fact-checking. And we're able to do that because we focus on one issue, which is Iran, single subject. We can build over expertise, and each one of us, because we have a background in Iran, we have a great deal of sources, a network that we can all tap into. So when we do a story, it's very collaborative in terms of how many filters it goes through before it's fact-checked. And we've been, from 2009 when we covered the election, when everybody else was thrown out, to this recent election when, under the Rouhani administration, people were allowed to go into the country. I think our reporting has set us apart. So just to give one quick example, when someone like Ahmadinejad is president, everybody is on their toes. They know that everything that comes out of his mouth is spin. They know that they have to dig, they're not allowed into the country, so they have to talk to activists, they have to talk to the opposition, they have to talk to independent journalists. But once they're allowed into the country, they're so happy to go there that they're willing to focus on food and spices and the so-called, the startup scene to attract investment. So executions actually shoot up when someone like Rouhani becomes president. When Khatami was president, there was a serial murders, the chain murders that were going on. They were assassinating secular intellectuals. When Khatami became president and all the news organizations started sending correspondents there, those assassinations also shot up. But once the limelight, from the mainstream media is on how great these reformists or pragmatists are, they get away with doing that kind of reporting. So that's why we're here.